Good afternoon. Greetings from Indonesia. I'm Paksi, and I'm very honored to be here in this session. And thank you very much to Dr. Joshi, Professor Kulkarni, and Aisoru, who has given me a chance to moderate and also to to share our experience as a roaming reconstructive urologist in our country. Well, unfortunately, I could not attend this meeting in person, but I'm still very happy that I could deliver this virtually. I hope this will be the last time I give a virtual lecture. Hopefully, in the near future, I could join every single one of you and meet you in person. There's no disclosure in my presentation regarding Roman reconstructive urologists, and as introduction, this is Indonesia. The size is almost similar like the West Europe and also the United States of America. We are the world fourth largest populated country, and we are also the largest archipelago in the world with more than 18,000 islands, so many different types of culture, tribes, and etc. So it's a very diverse country. And if you look at our data comparing to the United States of America, we have similar size, but you could see that the GDP is super different. We have super less GDP compared to the United States. So the problem in our country, we have a very wide population, a high density population, wide area, lower and middle income class country, and we have a lot of cases. Reconstructive cases, strictures, pelvic fracture, uterine injury, infection, and due also to instrumentation, many other hypospadia or congenital abnormality, while pediatric urology are only available in some centers. We have also many sclerofibromatosis cases. Then during my residency program and my early career, reconstructive surgery wasn't properly taught in our residency program, since if you look at the data, one urologist should serve almost 500,000 population. So it's a very busy work, and reconstructive urology was not that popular during that time. And we could see 56% of population were served by 67% of urologists. And most of the urologists are working in Java Island, and this is the Java Island, the most populated island in the country, while other province, there is still no urologic service. There are still 4 provinces that has no urologic service. This is also our first data in 2012. It was reported that uterine stricture disease was treated mostly by DVIU, while urethroplasty is only accounted for 4%. And many patients should do a self-catheterization for the rest of their life. So basically, we know at that time in 2012, uterine stricture disease was undertreated in our country. What I want to share you is basically started from 2 centers experience, or I could say 2 friends experience. Me and Dr. Kunchoro, we share the same passion in many things. In hobby, we love to do basketballs when we were younger. And also we like to travel around to have a culinary adventure and also to learn, especially about reconstructive urology years ago. So how did we start? Dr. Kunchoro works in Bandung. Bandung is a urologic referral and training center since 2007. And during his early period of reconstructive career, he has a quite high failure rate because his training basically comes from workshops and symposium. And in 2013, we both then went to a subspecialty training in India. A lot of cases in Bandung, similar like in Malang, but I started my work in 2012 and we become the referral center and training center in 2013. That's where we started. I work in Malang, the second largest city in East Java province. This is a touristic destination. I hope you could come and visit us in Malang, because every year we also have national or international meeting, and also about geo-reconstruction. It's a very beautiful city. And if you look at our data, in 5 years, we have a reasonable number of stricture disease with the similar etiology and common site of stricture. While if you look at the national data in Indonesia, the trauma has the largest etiology compared to other etiology. This is what Dr. Kunchoro have. His experience before subspecialty training, the success rate in urethroplasty is reasonably less, only less than 50%. While after that, he could improve his work to 87% of success rate. And urethroplasty is becoming more common in his service compared to urethrotomy or dilatation. While in Malang, in my center, I'm very also fortunate. I was taught by Professor Sanjay Kulkarni. In 2016, we have 103 urethroplasty and a reasonable success rate around 80 to 88%. And the urethroplasty has become more common in our service. And later on, we also observe our data that the success rate is quite high and reasonable. Also, including the EPA urethroplasty, our success rate is about 90%. So when Dr. Joshi asked me to talk about roaming urologists, I looked at the dictionary. What is roaming means actually? Roaming means moving about aimlessly or unsystematically, especially over a wide area. So I think this is what happened in our career. Started at 2012, where Professor Kulkarni came to Indonesia with Professor Barbagli. I sent emails to him, and he allowed me to go to Pune to look the opportunity to learn from him. So the first roam that we did was to Pune, India, and we visited him for 2 weeks. And again, the following years, I went back again to do some observing fellow. Since after I came back from India, initially, I still have so many difficulties in urethroplasty, then I came back for a longer period of time. But that the roaming is not stopped there. We also travel around the world to learn from the world expert. We went to UCLH to visit Professor Tony Mundy and Dr. Daniela Andrich in London. And then also we visit Professor Francisco Martins in Portugal in Santa Maria Hospital. And we also joined Professor Joel Gilman in his annual visit to Vietnam to see the different perspective of doing reconstructive surgery. So this is the roaming period when we learn urethral reconstructive surgery. We also roam around the country to build the local and national team, doing a lot of surgeries. We call this road shows in Indonesia, and I'm very happy that in 2015, the Indonesian Genitourinary Reconstructive Society was declared, so we have more option to do different types of activity. So if you look at Indonesia, as I've mentioned before, Indonesia have so many different islands. We have 18,000 plus islands, and this is the 5 biggest islands in Indonesia: Sumatra, Borneo, Java, Sulawesi, and Papua. And for example, we went to Aceh. This is the far west province of Indonesia. A few years ago, we did some lectures to the general surgery residents. We also do many surgeries, and I'm very happy with this activity. I could also travel around a little bit. So we go to Pulau Way. This is the kilometer zero Indonesia, the far west part of Indonesia, with Dr. Kunchoro and Dr. Jufri. This is a great experience, so I can visit a very important place in Indonesia. There are many other cities, for example, like this capital of Medan. We also give lectures. We do many difficult surgeries, and also culinary adventure. Of course, as you can see, this is durian, very famous in Southeast Asia. Another big island that we visit is Banjarmasin. This is our one of our scientific meeting symposium for the general practitioner. We also do many workshops there, and one of the most unforgettable experience in my life is when we went to the far east part of Indonesia. It's called the Jayapura city. This is from the capital of Papua. So we conduct a scientific meeting for the general practitioner. Amazingly, that there were 300 plus general practitioner came to the capital of the province, and some of the general practitioner, some of the doctors should travel more than 24 hours just to reach the capital. It's amazing how we meet the young enthusiast general practitioner. We do a lot of surgeries there, and also we travel a bit to the place called Raja Ampat. This is one piece of heaven that existed in our country. So there are many other different city hospitals and centers in Indonesia that we have visited, more than 20 places and 30 roadshows that we have conducted. And this gives a lot of experience, especially for me. And another great thing, through urethroplasty, I could visit the far west and also the far east part of Indonesia. And I'm very happy that we were also recognized by Indonesian colleague of urology. Me and Dr. Kunchoro was recognized as reconstructive urology consultant. And I'm very happy later on, and this time we have another 13 consultant if Reconstructive recognized by the colleague. And I'm very honored also that I was appointed one of the board of director of GURS, and also a founder of a prestigious society like our society, the IZORU. Thank you very much, Dr. Kulkarni and Dr. Joshi. In the future, we are planning to do more training. This is one of our early fellow, or unofficial fellow, Dr. Doni. He came to my hospital. Now he is a reconstructive consultant. He's establishing his own service in Serang, West Java, in Banten, I'm sorry. And we are about to establish a formal postgraduate fellowship training program in reconstructive surgery recognized by the colleague of urology. I'm very fortunate also that there are some international colleagues who visited Malang from Latvia and also from the Philippines. So I'm very proud that they also come to our hospital to learn urethroplasty. In the future, we are planning to do more publication in many international journals, and I'm very happy. This is the picture when I showed in 2016. I call this the new kids on the block in Recon from Indonesia, because we were not recognized at all at that time. But now we have many other young urologists who are passionate establishing their urologic service in many centers. We have, for example, the Magnificent Seven in Indonesia, the young passionate urologists. So in conclusion, in our roaming experience, we know that Indonesia is a large and highly populated country. We have high number of reconstructive cases. Initially, there is no official training center or program for postgraduate training in reconstructive surgery. We have to roam around the world to learn, and also roam around the country to establish the reconstructive surgery service in Indonesia. And then now we could set up a referral and training center in the country. We are going to do more multi-data center collection and publish more scientific publication. I'm very lucky that I learned from the real roaming international urologist, Professor Sanjay Kulkarni. I think he's the only person in the world who has done a surgery in 5 different continents and maybe hundreds of countries. So what we've done, what we do, is basically inspired by Professor Kulkarni. I'm very happy also to and honored to become the part of Indonesian Genitourinary Reconstructive Society, because we know that if we want to go fast, we go alone, but if we want to go far, we should go together. Thank you very much for everyone. This is our experience as a roaming urologist. I hope it's useful for every single one of us, and I hope in the future, soon, we could meet each other again in person. Thank you, SIU, and good afternoon.